Ricky Durant is in the house. Hi, my name's Troy Landwehr, and I love teaching business through the Bible and principles through the Bible and leadership skills. And one of the things, I grew up poor, and I always was given money. And one of the things that I loved is getting into an industry where I could finally write checks to churches and give money back to people. And there's nothing wrong with anything you do in life, but it's great when you can not just go on a mission trip, but actually help fund mission trips and things like that. And I don't know where else you can go when you're a college dropout like myself and you barely graduated high school. So I said, I want to get some of the best people out there in the industry to come teach the principles and people that have had success. Because I believe Proverbs 27:17 is that, basically success leaves clues. As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. And today we get to talk to Ricky Durant. He is super, super successful, has built a global business. And so, Ricky, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Troy. I appreciate you having me on today.
Well, Ricky, let's get right into it. A lot of people would like to work from home. And, especially with everything going on, I always say it's better to have more options than fewer options, right? And everyone loves to have multiple income streams. And you've been one of the best at teaching this. First of all, before I get into your tips, because we're going to get through a lot of good tips, let me ask you this. How did you get started in the industry? And what attracted you to the industry in the first place?
Thank you for asking, Troy. So my background's been health and wellness since I was a little kid. About 6.5 years ago, a buddy of mine walked into the gym with a little baggie of white powder, believe it or not. And I was like, dude, what is that? You can't have that in here. He goes, no, it's not what you think. It's this technology. I started doing a little research. I knew nothing about that, and being in the health and wellness background, doing powerlifting, bodybuilding, I found myself kind of asking my question, like, oh, I'm pretty dumb. I don't know what this is, right? So I went on to doing a little research and realized it was something new, hip, that was groundbreaking into the market, the ketogenic lifestyle. And I started doing a little research, and, whenever he handed me a few samples, I didn't really try it myself first, okay? I went to immediately, as a coach, bodybuilder coach and powerlifting coach, I want to see if one of my clients or somebody that may need a different type of fuel source would need, if this would help them. If it helps them, I'll try it. I'm like, hey, try it first. Tell me what you think. If it's good, then I'll go all in. Well, that person was my little nephew, okay? He was having a bunch of seizures weekly. And I'm not saying it cured, meditated, or anything, but I know my nephew. So this hit me hard because he was having a bunch of seizures, and his seizures went down tremendously, right? So whenever that happened close to home, I asked my buddy, I said, what is this? And he goes, oh, it's direct cell. He didn't even know what the heck he was involved in, right? Like he was just excited, right? And I love those people nowadays. Because he goes, oh, it's direct sales network marketing. He was spewing out the mouth. And I'm like, oh, that's one of them pyramid schemes that everybody talks about, right? I didn't know better either, right? 6.5 years ago. He goes, something like that. You refer people, and this person gets, I said, I don't care what it is. This is what it did for my nephew. I'm all in, okay? Seriously, because of what it did for my nephew. I didn't care about the money. I just cared about helping people, right? That's my whole career. My side gig was the gym. I was a blue collar worker. I worked out at the refineries here in Houston, Texas, but I was always looking for more, right? Because I was missing out on my daughter's lives. And one day I came home and I was like, wow, my baby's not a baby no more. Man, and that's whenever everything started to hit, Troy. And I said, I'm all in with this, right? Well, the first business venture didn't really align with me. I walked away from that company. I'm not going to talk about what company it was or whatever. But about 4 years ago, as a matter of fact, I was feeling some type of way. I felt like I wasn't getting to where I was supposed to be in life at 39 years old, 38 years old. I'm 42 now. And I was like, God, what am I supposed to do? Right? I'm not getting there. I'm like you, Troy. I don't come from money. I got a high school education, but I have a heart for loving on people and helping people, you know? And I knew that if I found a platform and a product or a service that could genuinely help people, and I can help people make that extra $500 to $1,000 a month, that we were going to have a slam dunk, right? Because a lot of people are going to spend money on bad food every day. They're going to spend money on supplements every day. All they're looking forward is for a leader to lead them on that direction. So instead of just selling a product or a service to somebody, this is what I teach my team. I'm like, listen, become the master listener and the master asker. Okay? Because if you're really listening to somebody and you're asking questions, then you can go with the flow and they'll lead you to what they need in their life, right? So that's what I do, Troy. And I became a master at it, at asking questions, listening to people, and then bringing them in as a customer, right? Because I want somebody in my business that loves the product as much as I do. If they don't love the product, I don't need you in my business. You know the whole saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink it, right? That's how I feel about my business. I want people that are passionate. I'm not about mass recruiting. I'm all about building people up to leaders, okay? And having a sustainable business. I'm not about jumping from company to company. I've been with this company for 4 years. This is where I planted my flag. I'm happy. I'm excited about the future of our company and where we're headed. And I feel like I'm at home here, Troy.
Wow, that's fantastic. You know, I want to touch upon a couple things you said. I like what you said. You're about building other leaders, you know, making them stronger. And I think that's a big thing in life, where if you can get people to become a better version of themselves, then everything around them grows, right? Not just financially, but socially, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all that grows when you make them a better leader. You know, it all plugs into, I like that. So let's talk about this. It's an industry that we're both passionate about because, you know, I didn't have a college degree. You didn't have a college degree. We both came from nothing. Okay. Just had a lot of love from my mom. And so there are a lot of professionals that come in this industry. A lot of busy entrepreneurs are attracted to this information because of everything it offers. But the big thing is people say, well, I haven't done it before. We all haven't done something until we tried it, right? we're all the novice until we learn. So if you had someone looking at getting in this industry for the first time, what are some of the things you would tell them to look at, or how would you get someone started?
No, great question, Troy. And I get that all the time. You know, people tell me all the time, I can't do what you do. I can't sell like you do. And this is the answer every time, Troy. Okay. Imagine you just went and ate a good steak at a steakhouse, right? And guess what, Troy? I'm going to come back to your house because we're friends and go, Troy, that steakhouse in Chicago, oh my God, that was the best steak I've ever had. Well, guess what? The only difference from what you do and I do, you just refer somebody to the steakhouse for free, right? And by us finding something that we like, we get to share it. And then the company pays us for talking about the product. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So when someone, let me ask this, when somebody approaches you and you want to, what are some of the things that you have to, how important is it to follow the system? And do you have systems where you're at? I mean, is there a cookie cutter or because if you buy a McDonald's, right, it's the McDonald's in where I am in Las Vegas, I'm from Maine, is the same Las Vegas as Texas. But I feel like the reason why you've been able to duplicate is because of some of your systems.
Yes, Troy. So basically, we have a system that is add tag message, right? Remember, we're trying to get a bunch of customers. The customers are going to come back to you and go, oh my God, I shared the product with Betsy, Troy, Ricky, right? At that point, it's whenever you go, hey, do you want me to help you make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month? They're either going to say yes or no, or they're going to stay a customer, right? So what I do is basically, for instance, say, Troy, you just came into my business. Mm-hmm. I ask you, Troy, why are you doing this? Right? The most important thing is why someone is doing something, right? Mm-hmm. And I tell people all the time, look, you can go out there and mass recruit 1,000 people into your business. If you're not getting to know that person and why they're doing the business, they're going to come in and they're going to go out the door the next day, okay? Because you're really not getting to know them, okay? And then you may ask, well, how did you grow such a large business, Ricky? Because what I did, I started with 5 people, Troy. And why 5? This is the magic, okay? I looked at it whenever I got started with this. I said, if I was to go build a multi-million-dollar business, I'm not going to go spam people. I'm going to go to the 5 top people that respect me and I respect them the most, that are entrepreneurs, that if I say, hey, this is it, they're going to listen. That's what happened, Troy. And then I taught them to do the same thing, to go to their top 5 people and to their top 5 people. And guess what happens? 5 times 5 is 25. And then from there, the tree starts to grow and then it just starts to develop on down. And I taught the leaders to do welcome calls with their people. Hey, I'm going to do it with you, for you, and I'm going to be by you. And then you're going to duplicate that, right? Because Ricky can't be on 1,000 calls a day. Let's get real, right? But we created Facebook pages to where you could ask someone, and then you have different topics in there: weight loss, energy, fat loss, whatever it may be. And we taught our people to go in the groups and just tag people, because remember, they're listening to people. If they need better sleep, there's a post about sleep. If they need better energy, there's something about energy. Weight loss, so on, so on. Guess what? So now you got this group and this big old tree of people doing the same thing every day. And I teach people, look, share this conversation with 2 people a day. Remember, it's all about simplicity, Troy. I'm not telling them to go out there and get 20 customers, 20 distributors a day, because the way I look at it is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Do the math. If you get a big, larger group of people doing the simple things every single day over a period of time, you're going to grow a very massive business in direct sales network marketing. But you got to stay focused. And I tell the team all the time, have a dream. I had a dream, okay? You got to be crystal clear on your vision. How do you do that? Go create your dream board. That's the most important part. Visualize it on what it's going to feel like whenever you attain that goal. And once you attain that goal, go create another one, right? So you got a dream, vision, and you have to take action in anything you do in life, Troy, to make it happen. And understand that any business that you're in, for all of you network marketers that are going to be watching this, you're going to go through highs and you're going to go through lows in your business. You're going to go through turbulence in your business. It's a part of life. It happens. We have highs, we have lows, we have happy moments, we have sad moments. Just find a place that you align with. You align with the corporate staff. You align with the leadership of the company, and stay through that. I was talking to one of my buddies. He's been in direct sales for 20-something years, one of the top earners, one of the top 5 earners, I'm not going to say his name, in the industry. And I asked him, I was like, how did you, right? Because as a leader, you want to be led by someone that's been there, that has more than you. Although that we've done good, right? You want to do better. Because guess what? If you know everything in the room, You're the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be in that room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the smartest person in the room because I want to elevate my game around other people that have been there and done that, Troy. And whenever I was talking to my buddy, he was telling me about the turbulence over the last 20 years, right? And then he stuck and stay. And he had to rebuild his business 1 or 2 times or 3 times through the process. But guess what? Now he's in the top 5 income earners in network marketing, you know? So that's pretty impressive. So
that's great. I mean, I think a couple things you mentioned that I really like when getting someone started and someone's looking at this is what are you looking to get out of it, right? What are you looking to get out of it, and why did you get started? I guess why did you get started in the first place is what you said, and I love that. And what are you looking to get out of it? You got to get to know people and find out what. But I'm sure in this industry, Ricky, there's a lot of people that probably get started and they don't have a big vision. And I'm sure there are people remember when I got you started, you were just looking, saying, if I could make just an extra $300 or $400 extra a month, can you just show me how to do? And all of a sudden that turns into a week. And then they're looking like, hey, can I do that to a day? Have you like, how good does it feel when they can't even visualize making $300 or $400 a day, but you got them there. They were just like, Ricky, show me how to make $300 to $400, $500, just extra a month. I need it for my rent, my mortgage, my car payment. But when you're able to show them how you can do that a week and do that a day, the feeling's got to be just so rewarding.
Well, so Troy, say you just came into my business. Here's the biggest thing, okay? Because people are going to tell you by action, okay? So I teach the team, I said, put action steps in front of them, okay? Troy, we just had the call. We did a welcome call. You told me that you wanted to stay home because you wanted more family time, more freedom. What does this mean to you? You've already told me, so I can always go back to you because I asked for permission to coach you on this call, right? So what I do is I give them 48 hours. Number 1, to go out there and create your vision board. Number 2, those 5 people, I want to talk to them within 48 hours, okay? If they don't follow 1 or 2, they're off my radar.
For just rewind real quick for people that are absolutely really new looking at this industry, explain to them what a vision board is.
Well, a vision board is basically the dream put into paper, okay? Because whenever we were kids, we were like, oh, I want to have a Corvette whenever I get older. I want to have a pool whenever I get older. I want to have a ranch. I want to go on vacation. That's basically what a vision board is. It's your dream in a piece of paper that you're looking at every day.
So if you want to take trips, put some trips in there. If you want to pay for your kids' college, put college funding on your vision board, right? If you want to retire your parents or maybe get a nicer car, that's all down on the vision board so they can visualize it. And then you're helping them work towards those goals.
Absolutely, Troy. And like you said, man, that the greatest feeling in life is not about you. Whenever I got started in this industry, I wasn't thinking about the money. I was thinking about the impact. And I was listening to a guy that I follow on social media, Trenton. His name is Trent Shelton. I'm sorry. And this guy, I love him. He's the best motivational speaker out there. Yeah. And he was talking last week, and he said, whenever you die, people aren't going to see your failures in your tombstones. And that hit me, man. That hit me really hard because there's so many people out here so concerned about what somebody else is going to think about them. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then they crawl into a shell and then they go, well, this person's going to think this. Well, let me get real with you. They're going to think that about you, whether you do it or not. Okay. Right. You're going to have people that love you and you're going to have people that hate you. It's just the way the society works. But last night, Troy, as a matter of fact, that we're talking about this, I was welcoming a guy into the team. I was doing a welcome call with one of my business partners.
Yeah.
And the guy is a pastor at a church. And then so I was asking him all kinds of questions. And he goes, Ricky, whenever I was a kid, I was bullied and all of this. And I said, but look what God is doing through you now, right? So just remember this, Pastor. You have greatness within you. And we go through stuff in life. We go through struggles in life because God has a plan for you and me, Troy. Okay? And some people may be looking at this and going, well, I can't do this. Yes, you can. I'm just a blue-collar worker that loves on people, and I want to make a difference in the world. Whenever I leave this world, I don't want to be known as a guy that made millions of dollars. I want to be known as a guy that impacted millions of people's lives across the world. And whenever I come in contact with you, you will know Ricky Durant has talked to you and inspired you some type of way. That's what I want to be known as.
Well, it's I think when something's in your heart, it gets in your feet. And so many times I've started something that wasn't in my heart anymore, so it's hard to become in my feet. And so sometimes we're always challenged in life, and there's different aspects of that in life as well. But when you can help people, Ricky, like you're doing, you get it in their heart, and it's in your heart, it's really easy to get it into your feet. And I was talking to a gentleman that's this morning for about an hour and a half. He's made over 50 million in the industry, one of my favorite people. And he said, behavior that is rewarded is repeated. So, so in this industry, it can be very rewarding, and not just from a financial standpoint, but it can be very rewarding from a standpoint of that you're giving back to the community and you're giving it back. And like I said, there's always times where in life that I had to take money. I needed a place to stay, and my mom needed a place to stay, and my aunt took us in, and my grandma took us in. But it's another thing when you not only can write checks personally that you thought you'd never be able to write to organizations, but when you're able to do what you're doing, Ricky, and you're helping people, not just so you're writing checks to people and family and friends that you love and organizations that you want to get behind, but when you see other people climbing the ladder and being able to help people, right? And sometimes it's like the plane, you put an oxygen mask on yourself, and all of a sudden it really is a ripple effect. And that's why I love this industry the way you do. Okay, so let me ask you before I let you go, okay? Because we got to have you back, my friend. We got to have you back. And for those of you watching, you can find me, Troy Landwehr, Time with Troy. Go ahead and like, subscribe, ring the bell, and like my page. But I know you're going to want to know more about Ricky. Before I let you go, okay, there's two things I got to ask you. The first thing is, where can they find Ricky Durant? If people say, I want to follow you, I want to get more of your free training online, or maybe follow you, or maybe they want to get in contact with you because they want to learn more about what you do and what you've done for other people, where can they find you, Ricky?
Yeah, so you can go to www.facebook.com /elevating now, not .com. So that's www.facebook.com /elevating now. My email address is Ricky, RICKY, @elevatingnow.com.
All right. And in closing, what are the last tips you can give somebody, whether maybe they're advanced in this industry and they just want a little bit more lighter fluid on, or gasoline on the fire, or maybe they're from the beginner? What last tips can you give them in closing?
Man, whether you've been in this industry for 20 years or 1 month, just be you, be real, be authentic. The world needs to see the real you. There's a lot of fake stuff out there on social media, and people nowadays, especially now, they need to hear your voice. They need to hear the real Troy, the real Ricky, and people are going to connect with you. Okay?
I love it. you know, their rear view mirror is a lot smaller than the windshield. So, you know, keep looking forward. And his name is Ricky Durant. He's been very successful in this industry. He's helped a lot of people. I encourage you to reach out to him, follow him on Facebook, and we're going to have you back, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you so much, Troy. Have a blessed weekend.
God bless. Thank you, Ricky. Bye-bye.